Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We're gonna talk about dupes. I have some that I wanna recommend, but majority, we're gonna be on a wild ride together and we're gonna figure out if there is truth in these dupe recommendations that I saw on TikTok. So let's dive on in. You know what? We're gonna start right here because I cannot wait to get some type of a wax in my brows. Now you guys know, because I've mentioned this so many times already, that the Benefit Fluff Up Brow Wax has been my absolute favorite. I traveled with this. I will not do without it. If I run out, I will buy more. I'm so in love with the fact that you can put this in the eyebrow, but you can halfway through the day still do more. You can adjust the brow. It doesn't harden down like a thick gel. It is a wax and it's nice and fluffy and it's just the perfect texture. So for me, nothing has beat this one right here, but I did see a recommendation for the Milani Brow Wax. Let's take a look.
Here is Milani. Ooh, Milani looks good in daylight. Lighting's everything, I swear. And here's Benefit. Question is, do we have a dupe? We do have a dupe.
I think it matters. I do think it matters. I'm gonna go ahead and say that formula is king, and sometimes the subtle difference in ingredients goes a long way, and I just have a taste for that. So I am your makeup judge. I go hard on products. I don't know. I already feel swayed that I'm gonna love this one more, but we shall see. Not everyone is gonna use a brow wax every single day, and not everyone wants to spend the high ticket price for something you have to go into Sephora for. This you can pick up at the drugstore. You can probably get a buy one half off, use some extra care bucks, do your thing with a discount, which is something I still do to this day, by the way. Insert Madness Monday music. Okay, it looks the same. It has that white fluffy texture. The Benefit comb is a little bit bigger and surprisingly picks up more product from the actual component. I always end up wiping this puppy off. That's maybe something I don't like. So Milani, you are winning on the actual component, how it cleans some of the wax off. I do appreciate that. Let's do a side by side. We're gonna go in with the dupe on this side here. I have a little bit of Anastasia Brow Wiz in soft brown. I also have my 3.5 micro pencil from Benefit, because sometimes you gotta be a little extra and use 2 brow pencils. So let's go in and just see what this is about. It's pulling them up nicely. I'm not mad about it. Do you see how this just looks so much more finished and polished versus this brow over here is struggling a little bit? Let's fix her. The Benefit version is a little bit thicker in texture. I can actually feel that as it's pulling through my brow hairs. But I will say the Milani felt great and it did a nice job over here. They match. I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is about a B+ dupe. It is pretty solid. If you've been looking for a brow wax, nothing wrong with it. Continuing with the eyes, I have 3 products here. One is a beloved product that is not quite the right shade, but I thought I would throw it in the mix. This is Moonstone from Bobbi Brown, really expensive. Then we have the Moon Dust Shadow from Urban Decay. I've tried this in the past, but I didn't have it currently in my collection, so I repurchased it for this event. This is in the shade Space Cowboy. Now I have from Ulta Beauty, their brand of shadow. These are the bouncy eyeshadows, which I love. I have raved about in the past. This is in the shade Buttercream. Delicious. Let's go over to Instagram and see what is up with this dupe recommendation.
$24 for a single eyeshadow is absolutely insane. But this Ulta Buttercream eyeshadow gives you the same effect. Do you see a difference?
I think this is a good dupe recommendation, being that I actually prefer the bouncy formula, but I do also want to see side by side how the colors compare. They look pretty close in the package. Of course, Urban Decay gets an extra like bonus plus of points because the packaging is really, really beautiful. This looks like, you get what you pay for, you know what I'm saying? We've got Moon Dust right here. There is a pretty intense spray over. So this is the Moon Dust. And then we have from Ulta Buttercream. Those are really close. Like honestly, those are super, super similar. Now, just for fun, I want to share my favorite, the Bobbi Brown, but like this is gonna cost you. So unless you are a glitter queen, I wouldn't recommend going in on this. But if you want something for my ladies that are in their 30s, late 30s, if we're getting there, if we're in our 40s, this is going to be so ideal. and I just had to throw it in. However, the bouncy texture is a little more forgiving as far as the blend, so I also recommend that. You can see the Bobbi Brown one is a lot more saturated, but these three are kind of given a similar thing. The Bobbi Brown is giving the most. It's also the finest. The buttercream in the center here, I'm gonna go ahead and say actually for any woman up there in age that is afraid of anything shiny, the texture on this is really beautiful. You're gonna get that gleam and that wetness and reflection that will actually diffuse lines and crinkles on the eyelid. So I really do like this. The Moonstone, I just feel like you have to absolutely use some kind of a glitter glue with it, some type of a base underneath, and it is more punchy from what I remember. Let's go ahead and on our dupe side, we're gonna go in with buttercream. I'm just gonna use my finger. I mean, gorgeous. I love that. Oof. Opens the eye right up. I love that. Just put it on with my finger. No glitter glue, no base. Let's try to do the same thing on the other side. The Moonstone is more of a clear base with a lot of that punchy, glimmery business going on. Nothing wrong with it, but I'm gonna go ahead and say in this instance, I am preferring the dupe. I wanna share with you guys a dupe that I discovered myself that I didn't, find perusing online. I just had in my collection the Make It Forever version, and then recently got my hands on this Magic Shaper from Catrice. Oh my gosh. This little guy right here is so tiny, but so mighty with what it will do. You can do your blush. I wore the lighter shade on my eyelids today. I contoured my face and bronzed up the face with these three up top. I was able to contour the mouth, the nose. It is so natural looking. The texture just melts right into the skin. This, in my opinion, is so much better than the Make It Forever version that is so much more expensive. I am in love. This is a new one. This is a new drop, but if you want to contour or underpaint, but you want to look like you in real life, you don't want to look like you have stripes of harsh makeup on your face that's unblended or patchy looking, this is the most natural, smoothest, most goof-proof little kit like this that I have ever seen. And I think it's like the right size for travel and everything. It is so good. If you have not seen this one, it is worth checking out. And I'm wearing the blush today too. If you like my blush, it's from this kit. I kid you not, I don't like the Make It Forever one. I think it's hard to blend. I know there's a lot of hype around it, but this, A+. A freaking plus, I love it. Okay, we're gonna try another dupe on the spot. Now this is just something that I got in PR and I was like, oh, it's reminding me of something else that is more expensive that I'm actually really into at the moment. I recently traveled with this and I did that technique to make you look more awake because I was really tired. And I started just really loving putting a nude liner in my lower waterline. I have not been into that trend in a hot minute. This was a trend that everyone was into. And at the time that the trend was happening, I was like, oh, I used to do that. I don't think I want to do that anymore. And then the trend kind of went away. And of course, now I'm like, I kind of want to do that. And I kind of think it looks good, but I have a different technique that I'm going to share with you. I don't put it full in the entire waterline. I feel like that makes me look too like, whoa, look at my eyes, oh my gosh. But if you have smaller eyes, you might experiment with doing the full waterline. For me, I'm just gonna take it right in the middle and show you what I'm talking about. This is from Tarte. This is the Fake Awake. I'm just gonna go in the center. I'm not gonna pull it all the way in. I'm not gonna pull it all the way out. Okay. Do you see how that looks natural? If I go all the way to that inner corner, all the way out, it tends to give me this really circular look to my eyes that I do not like. Let's see if the Flower Cosmetics version is giving us the same awake, brightened look. This is in the shade Moonstone. Oh my gosh, this is so much creamier. Holy smokes. Whoa. Okay. Oh my gosh, and it's like on my lens now. So sometimes the drugstore loses, and that's why we need to dig in and see, where is it worth me spending my money? Where can I cut those corners and save some cash? You know, for me, of course, I'm gonna be like, save your cash, get this. It's so much better. It beats the luxury version. This is better. This right here is too creamy for what you wanna do with it, what you likely wanna do with it. I mean, you could highlight the brow with this if you wanted to, but I just don't think that you're gonna be lining the eye with this. I mean, it doesn't look terrible. It's just so creamy that is like floating around in my eyeball at the moment. And I wear contact lenses, so I will also give you all the tea on what will irritate your eyes and what will not. But I love Flower Cosmetics. Let me say I love all of these brands. It's just preference. Moving along. We need to talk about bronzers, because the Say bronzer that you can pick up at Sephora is very good. I have recommended this one so many times. The texture is just delicious. But I do want to share with you a new one, new-ish one from Milani, that the texture also is delicious and will blend and will give you that nice glow from within, but it's sculpting, it's bronzing. It is just something that works well with others. Both of these formulas do that. And this one from Milani, this is Cheek Kiss in Spilling Tea. Now these shades are not identical, and the Milani packs more of a punch where the Say has a little more slip to it, but they are both so gorgeous. This is the Milani, this is Say. They're not the same color, but they have a very similar texture and blend, and they sit on the skin and sink into the skin very similarly, and that's why I think that these are a smash hit dupe. There's one more that was recommended online, but I already knew. I'm like, you know what? There is a less expensive version of this. Ingredients are pretty well identical. If you have been into hypochlorous acid whatsoever, if you have delved into that part of the internet, I want to share with you the best one that I have found is Prequel. Now this I believe is $17 for 4 fluid ounces. The one from Tower 28, I want to say is like $28 for the same amount of product. Do not be fooled. These both contain 4 ounces. I like the sprayer on the Prequel one better, and it's not as expensive, so that's also better. Now, hypochlorous acid is going to be great for sensitive skin. It's going to get rid of bacteria. It is something, if you go to a medical spa, they are likely to spray on your face before treatment. It is that effective at removing bacteria. I will actually spray this on my phone if I'm in a pinch. That happened when I was traveling because my phone was bumping into all sorts of things disgusting. Sometimes I'll miss this on my face throughout the day if I feel that my skin is just feeling yucky and I want to make sure that we are all clean. Let's look at the benefits so I can explain to you exactly why hypochlorous acid is amazing. The pH on here is 4.5. It's so balancing. This is not just for acne-prone skin. This is going to be for sensitive skin. If you have rosacea, if you have inflamed skin, this can really help. This says, like many other disinfectants, so it's actually considered a disinfectant. Now, these are formulated specifically for your skin, so don't freak out. You're not putting bleach on your face. Hypochlorous acid will destroy pathogens. Solutions can serve to disinfect open wounds. I mean, literally think about this. If you have a breakout on your face and it's exposed, like you have gone in, because sometimes that happens. Like, don't pretend like you have never picked at your face. This is something you can spray on the skin to calm it down, to disinfect and make sure things are healing properly, because we want things to be clean. I love this. I have seen a great difference in my skin, and I don't think it's just my imagination. This is a part of my routine now. Whenever I feel like things are getting inflamed, and I'm the inflammation queen, I just cannot say enough. But if you were wondering, for a cheaper option, Prequel is where it's at. It's actually my favorite. I would pay more for this. I do need to educate myself a little bit more on hypochlorous acid. If you have information for me, leave it in the comments below. But this was recommended to me by a skin expert. All right, you guys, let me know if you want to see more dupes. I love doing these videos. I have plenty more on hand that I could chat about, but I'm going to wrap it up for now. Go and have a good one, whatever you are doing. Thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it. Share it. Leave me comments. I love hearing from you. Go and have a best day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Mwah.